everybody else knows what's going to happen after this season, dealing with the uncertainty. I mean, how do you cope with that going forward through the end of the
Well,
season?
I can tell you how I personally cope with it. I leave it all in God's hands. That's just Maria and I's faith. I'm not one bit worried about what happens after. I'm just really focused on this week in the Philadelphia Eagles. Yet I understand the anxiety. It's human nature. I know that a lot of people are thinking that way, and rightly so. There's families involved, just like there were two families last week, the Reese family and Ben McAdoo's family. It's hard. This business is tough. It's tough on families. But we have a job to do. We get paid to do a job. So hopefully everybody's in here doing what they're expected to do, and hopefully as a team we can unite and find a way to make the result be the right way on Sunday.
Spags, how did the decision as far as going back to Eli kind of happen? Who was involved? Can you kind of walk us through that?
Yeah, yeah, sure. A good question. And I'll shoot you straight on this. I was involved with the offensive coaches. When Mr. John Mara asked me to do this, that was obviously the first thing we discussed, but he left it up to me. My gut right then and there was to put Eli back in. That was a gut. Now, you got to remember, when you're coaching defense, and I just operate this way, I put the blinders on and I was coaching defense. I in no way was judging what was going on offense. That's not my job. But my gut said, when I had to step into this role, that Eli Manning should be the quarterback. There was no knock on Geno Smith. Geno was terrific in the conversation, and he has been since. But I just felt that was the right way to go. Before I made the final decision, I consulted with the guys that knew the offense, and that was Mike Sullivan, our offensive coordinator, and the offensive coaches. And after talking with all of them, put together with my gut feeling, that's the direction we went.
Steve, Kris Long had some of his best years playing for you. What stood out about coaching him and the way he's playing now?
I love Kris Long. I'm really happy for him. I want to say he had a fumble or caused a fumble or something last week. I mean, Kris was up at New England, I guess, last year. Howie and I know each other real well. I have seen Kris grow from this young guy playing as a rookie early year, second year when I had him at St. Louis, to this mature man, married, kids, and we talk about it all the time. We text back and forth. I think he's a terrific person, great character. I'm glad he's having a really good season down there. Now, you can tell him this. I hope he doesn't have a good game this week. I mean, I got to be honest, but I got a lot of respect for Kris.
Spags, your defense, how much of it's been the problems have been injuries? How much just underperformance?
Yeah, well, look, I don't want to make any excuses. We should play better. I got to make a better call here and there. It's all wrapped up into one. I will tell you what is difficult. We've had 5 different Mike linebackers. That's like playing 5 different quarterbacks, in my opinion, with a defense. And that's been tough. And many of our guys really, Landman's not healthy now and wasn't during, we lost Jack Rabbit. It's been a lot of everything. You combine, I would not say underperforming. I don't know where all that comes from. Certainly guys are going to feel that way on certain plays. A guy gets reached in the B gap and it goes out for a 25-yard run. Yeah, he underperformed, but it's been a accumulation of a lot of things, and it begins with injuries, and we just got to find a way to get the next guy in there. And having said that, there have been spells of some really good defense. I guess every defense can do that. What has really nipped us in the bud is the explosive plays. It just seems like when we make a mistake, it becomes a drastic down rather than semi-drastic, and we're able to recover, and that's been the hard thing.
One of the areas where you guys haven't really had a lot of injuries is on your defensive line. How important has that become this week as far as getting pressure on Nick Foles and trying to rattle him some?
Yeah, anytime, obviously, any game you're playing in this league, you want to rattle the quarterback. He's the guy who gets his hands on the ball every play. But we got JPP playing with a club, and the other guys are all nicked up too. But we got to find a way for that unit to play solid. We need them. We're a better defense. Every defense is better when they're up front. People play dominant, and we have some guys that can do that. We just got to find our groove and get that done.
You mentioned the Mike position earlier, Spags. Any chance Goodson's back this week, or is he out?
Yeah, well, hopeful. He got a little bit of work today, not a full day's work, and we'll have to take it day to day. You know, these high ankle sprains, and we've had a bunch of them this year, and it's kind of the wave. You all will remember, I was talking about this the other day. I want to say 2002. I might be off on that. You can all help me. But first game of the season, I believe Brian Dawkins got a Liz Frank. Bobby Taylor had
the first game at the Link. Yeah.
Yeah, was that 2003?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the wave of the Liz Frank injuries, and we lost Doc, and that's when Sheldon came in and Lido. And this year up here, it just seems to be the high ankle sprain. We had a bunch of guys with high ankles, and those linger. Those never go away. Landon Collins got one within the first 3 games. It just started to get better a week ago, and now he's kind of retweaked it. So it's been hard, but look, it's hard on everybody. I mean, the league, that's what the league's about. You stay healthy, you got a chance.
Steve, back in 99, I know you were quality control then, but with Doug Peterson as the quarterback, what did you see from him personality-wise that maybe suggested he could be in this role now?
Well, all these quarterbacks that excel in this league obviously have leadership skills. Otherwise, they wouldn't last very long. But, look at the biggest compliment to Doug is that Andy Reid takes a head job in Philadelphia, was with Doug in Green Bay, and he wants Doug to be the quarterback to start things off. Now, I know we drafted Donovan, and we know the whole deal, but Doug came in, and you talk about character and work ethic and all the things that were surrounding being the starting quarterback with the second pick of the draft right behind you. He handled it with class. He's a class man. Doug is one more. I mean, to me, I'm happy for Doug in the season he's having. He's done a terrific job down there. I enjoyed working with him in '99, and I'm happy to see his success this year.